welcome to Before the Fight, another great instalment of the show. As always, my co-host, Shannon O'Connell. How are you?
I'm great. Excited to be here again.
Joel Camako mate. How are you?
Always good, mate.
Coming up on today's show, we have Liam Wilson, the super featherweight, coming in. Also, Capital Fight Show's Man of the Hour, Adam Lovelock, coming in to talk about all things managers and promotions and big things happening for Capital Fight Show. Our gym of the week this week was Smithys Gym out in Toowoomba. The TGW Promotions Gym brought us inside and took us through some of the history and all the things that make that the gateway to the West.
31 years now, 31 years, 12 years in here, and then out of Charlton before that with 4 or 5 years stint in the States. You know, it's our life, it's been my life, most of my life, and it's what I will do now, right through to the end. So, you know, look, I've always took great pride in helping these boxers, the kids, and whatever goal and what goal they want to reach, you know, whether it's just to win their first fight or to go on to win a world title. My father was a fighter, so I grew up around it. We all boxed as young blokes. Never ever thought I'd become a boxing trainer, but that's the way it went, and I suppose it's never a plan. You know, and I started that when I was 19-year-old, so I've pretty well grown up around it. We've had 4 world champions, you know, we've had 3 world youth champions, and I haven't really counted. You know, there's been plenty of belt holders over the time. Look, it's a very special place for myself, and it always will be, so I will just say it's probably very special.
Friend of the family, the Smith family, and then I came in about 3 years or so ago and been here ever since, basically. It's just like home. This is because I grew up with Brendan's father in Pittsworth years ago, so it's just, everybody, it's just like home. Yeah.
The sort of family atmosphere, I think. You know, everyone's, once you leave your ego outside, once you come in, everyone's the same, whether you're a world champion or just one of the kids coming in for the kids' class. It's great feeling. So we've had some highs and lows, but yeah, it's been great.
A few years ago, I think like 30 years ago, my dad was the first boxer I think that Smithy ever trained. And so like it means a lot to me because like my dad was here, and yeah, I think I just got like a sense of my dad here because he passed away a few years ago. But I think like, yeah, he's like still here with me at the gym because he was a boxer, yeah.
Look, it's family to me. Growing up, I've been in here most of my life with Dad and everyone. So many great friends and family. It's created a lot of memories, and it's just a big part of my life.
My second home for the last 7.5 years, so it's been unreal. The atmosphere here and all the members are all very friendly, so yeah, it's definitely the number one boxing gym here in Toowoomba. Got a very good close friendship with Brendan as well, and yeah, look, everyone here is all family, so yeah, it's been very special to me.
This is my life, this is my home, home away from home, so I spend nearly probably more time here than I do at my actual house, so you know, I love it here. The Toowoomba community gets behind Smithy's in a huge way, and we've always been forever thankful for that, and you know, we just want to give back to the community our way, and that's teaching you know, people boxing and the sport I love, and I'm very passionate about it. And I trust Brendan with my life. I always have, and he's like a mentor, a coach, a psychologist, everything. You know, our boxing coach is everything all in one. So I owe a lot of my life to that man. So I'm very thankful, and we're only just getting started. There's a lot more to come, and a lot more great memories. You know, we've shared a lot already, and a lot of hard times and a lot of great times, but I know there's a lot more good times to come as well.
We got a big event here on March 27. It's a very big show. We've got a lot of fights on here, a lot of the young ones coming through. You know, Herman's in a big fight, biggest fight of his career with Joe Goodall for a world ranking for the WBC heavyweight title. You know, the Australasia. Stevie Sparks in a very big title fight coming up. There's a verbal agreement there with Tolj, so we're just waiting to sign off on that. So there's so much happening. It's a big start to the year, and you know, we've got a very big stable in here at the moment, and they're all in full swing and working hard.
Now, first off, domestically, big things. Castano beat Texera. What's this mean for Zoo?
Castano won, and he's a PBC fighter who's signed with Al Heyman, who's got also Charlo, who's got all the 3 titles. So logically looking from the outside, you think that's the next fight to make, because everyone loves to do the in-house fights.
Warrington lost by KO and gave up the IBF title at 126 pounds.
According to Eddie Hearn, would be the upset of the year. Bit of a bad run for Warrington. He vacated the title, opted to fight Lara, and got stopped.
Ronnie Rios beats Negrete.
That was an interesting fight. Negrete was the initial opponent for Jason Maloney in the States. That was for the WBA gold title, so he could get a shot at champion Figueroa. But in Australia, there's a couple of boxers that are vying for that title in that weight division. There's Luke Boyd, and there's also Bruno Tarimo.
Tommy, KO win.
Oh yeah, Richard Tommy. He was the IBF champion coming into that fight. Now he's had his first comeback fight against an incredible opponent, and he's put him into next Wednesday.
Lopez, him and Cambosis are in purse bids.
There was initial talks of the fight happening in Australia, and it was first reported on before the fight that wasn't going to be the case.
New York was the front runner at that stage.
The problem at the moment is money. Lopez wants too much money from Top Rank. Bob Arum's come out in the media, said he doesn't classify it as a marquee bout, and the funds just aren't available of what he expects. He expects to be getting more than he got fighting Lomachenko. Now,
Jojo Diaz missed weight twice now.
That's crazy. He was nearly 3.5 pounds overweight. And he's had his struggles with the weight, obviously, and he's had management issues as well, a drink driving charge as well. He wasn't in the right frame of mind, but in saying that, he ended up salvaging a draw. So there's still no champion.
Yeah, some work needs to be done there. Now, Campos back in March.
The Chilean Crocodile hasn't fought since March of last year. Our man on the ground is at a meeting with the mayor of Santiago, and they're going to give all their resources and fully support the show. So it looks like he's back in March.
Parker v. Farr getting closer.
That's another good fight. I think Parker would just be too good for Farr in this fight, in my opinion, and it'll be his catalyst to get back into the heavyweight or the world heavyweight scene. So I'm looking forward to that fight.
Hey, now there's some great fights coming up. Adesanya versus Josh Kelly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think Josh Kelly just be too good in that fight.
Miguel Burchelt versus Oscar Valdez.
That's coming up this weekend, and I can't wait for that fight.
Who's your pick?
Well, I've got a lot of time for Oscar Valdez. He's just a warrior, but I just think styles make fights, and Burchelt is a different kettle of fish, and I think he's going to be too good.
Mate, just keeps getting better.
That's the best.
Tony Tolj, you are the man. We'll knock it on the head there, and you and I will keep talking.
Thanks, mate.
One of the most exciting fighters on the scene at the moment is Liam Wilson, the super featherweight, joins us on the couch today. Mate, how are you?
Good. Better that I'm here.
Mate, a few things have been going on at the moment for the beginning of 2021. So you signed with No Limit last year. How'd that go? Good?
Yeah, it went well. We had the first fight in the Zoo undercard. Got the win. You know, we're already in February. Nothing's locked in yet. We're looking at April.
We'll go back to the super fight really quickly. Convincing against Rafal. We thought that it would be the case. Obviously good to back that up after Jackson Woods in Townsville. But now there was talk about Bilal Dib, but not happening now?
Yeah, it's definitely not happening. He said he wanted a warm-up fight, and that could be the case as well.
Who started the talk? Did they
I
started
think,
the talk,
yeah, they
and
did.
then, then now they're pulling back?
Yeah, I was seeing some news article about something about fighting me, so that's how it sort of started. And I'm still here. He's pulled out, so.
I think it's a good fight to make. I'm sure he'd want to make it worth his while. You know, Liam's the most dangerous fighter in their division.
But I guess that's a case of he probably wants to fight. His team are just a bit smarter than that.
It was a good laugh. Like I said, there'd be a good reason why he's not hopping in there, and a valuable one, I'm guessing. I thought I'd stir the pot enough to make him want to bite at it, but
He's got good accuracy. When his punches, when he throws them, they land, and with power.
if it wasn't for the amateur background, I'd just be sitting in the pocket, and sometimes I do get stuck into that sort of fight, which probably isn't ideal. The last two fights have sort of been like that. That's why I was looking forward to the Bilal fight. A bit more of a boxer, and myself, I can box better than a banger, I believe, but I always revert to that.
With Rafal and with Jackson Woods, you were stalking, and you were cutting the ring off, and you were engaging quickly because I think you knew that you could take that kill shot.
Everyone knows that Liam can box from the outside, and he's great from the outside. I haven't seen him get outboxed from the outside. As the experience comes in, you start fighting better fighters.
Yeah.
You don't do those stupid mistakes of staying in there and fighting. You're going to just do what you're good at. If you're winning the fight, you're going to win the fight.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. Like, people on the outside, heaps of critics will sit there and, you know, say what they believe or what they feel I should have done, but ultimately in there, I can feel the energy, I can feel the power, I can feel what sort of style work best for them, or simply I just know I'm going to break them, which basically the last two fights I can just see that they haven't got the, they just haven't got it in their eyes. They're going to break in the next 2 or 3 rounds.
He saw things. He saw that the opponent, or he felt that it didn't have power. He felt if he kept walking him down, he was going to break him down, and that was the case in both fights.
Yeah. Everyone was saying, why didn't you box him? I felt like he just threw punches from the floor. I felt safer getting close rather than being on the outside. But to some people, they're like, why would you do that? So it's,
And the results speak for themselves.
what happened when he hit me, and he hit me, and I smiled and stopped him. So that's not getting hurt.
You can't say, that's not getting
Yeah,
hurt at all. Made for a very entertaining little fight.
Yeah.
Out of the Australians, who do you want to fight?
Anybody in my division, they're chucking out. They're chucking
Give me
anybody.
a
They're
name.
chucking all these names out there, like, you know, Kai McKenzie, Paul Fleming. Who else is anyone? Super featherweight. They're probably the only two, I think, that would really.
And below
they're
Dib.
But
two
Kai
decent
McKenzie,
fights.
is he? I don't know if he's a lightweight or super feather. So it all depends.
Yeah.
I below Dib, yeah. Billy Dib, I'd like that one if it can come down.
Yeah.
It's all over the internet about like, Kai McKenzie and Billy Dib.
Billy Dib.
So I know Kai McKenzie's with Dreamtime, which is with No Limit. He's with No Limit as well. So like, if Kai wins that fight, then there's a fight for Liam right there.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that's how it happens. I think they're contracted, so obviously that's obviously happening. And if I'll put my hand up first one to fight the winner.
Liam Wilson, thanks for coming on the couch. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
At home was with Clay Waterman, the bronze medalist from the 2018 Commonwealth Games. Brings us into his life and lets us see how he lives.
Before I was born, my parents, their workplace shut down, and they were forced into living in a tent, mate. And years later, like, obviously they've kept their cool, they've stayed together, they've worked through tough times. To these days, they've just built their own very first home, and they're in their 40s and 50s. So, like I said before, it's never too late to achieve goals. Well, it would have been pretty tough for mum and dad raising me in time, but you know, we're raised right, and at the end of the day, we're good people. I feel like I'm a good person.
How important is it to know that you've got that support network at home and in the corner?
Well, a lot of people don't have that, so, and a lot of that, what could you call it? So potential goes missing. and it's never ever explored or been put out there. So I'm lucky I've had that, and I've had my potential seen, and it's still growing. And yeah, I'm just lucky, I guess. And it's probably the most important thing. People can do it without family, like hats off to them, but at the end of the day, they still need some grassroots thing to ground them.
You love the dog, Clay?
Always, mate. I don't surround myself with anything that I don't love,
We've always made a promise that we'd be very close to our kids and try and direct them, guide them in a way where they have good lives and be good people, And we've had a lot of fun doing that, I don't think there's been many times where we haven't had fun with our boys. It's sort of like...
Except for when they're getting old.
Oh, well, except for when they're in trouble. We've always wanted to share our love for animals and family and cars.
But it doesn't sort of seem special to us, it's just what we do. It's just normal. So
it's our lifestyle. We've been together for 29 years. So we've been through a lot of ups and downs, and we've stuck together, and we've been very, very strong about that.
Good mum to the boys, that's the main thing.
He likes to treat me like a princess sometimes, most times. And I like to be,
Got a bone on.
42 kilos, schoolboy, Australian champion. Man, I'd have a lot more trophies if I would have fight at every tournament that I weighed in. I would have weighed in a lot, probably 300 times, maybe, probably more. Yeah, I missed out on half my fights. This is a special one. I like this one. This is the Arthur Tunstall Best Boxer of the Year trophy. Asian Grand Slam champion. I've got a bronze medal up here for the Commonwealth Games. It's 2011 in Kazakhstan, Astana, Kazakhstan. I was 15 years old, 46 kilos, and that's the first ever amateur world champion gold medal for Australia.
I've been following him quite a long time. Amateur career, obviously, amateur standout. I love his style, love the aggressive style, love the power in both hands, love the movement. I actually watched him spar Blake Caparello, who I also manage, a few years ago, and was quite impressed. And so one thing led to another, and here we are working together. It's great.
This is where I'm a Call of Duty champion right here, mate. I'm actually one of the best snipers, like Call of Duty snipers. Look me up, Unleash. My name's Unleash. 100% in a 1v1 in snipers, I would smoke Dempsey McKean. Smoke anyone. Mate, when I was born, pretty much straight into a gym. The old man, he's always been doing some sort of weight training and stuff. Got the uncles and whatnot. They do boxing and that. We moved houses recently from Logan to Jimboomba, and we haven't been able to put a backyard shed in our house yet. So, my dad's first cousin, Errol, he's been kind enough to lend us part of his shed and get all of our training done. He's with a view actually, because he's a Holden fan. So, got the old Monaro in the background, heaps of memorabilia to look at. But at the end of the day, when you're in there training, mate, you don't think of anything else.
Matchmaker and man of the hour, Adam Lovelock from Capital Fight Show, joins us on the couch to talk to us what's happening with Capital, mate, in Canberra.
April 24, Capital Fight Show 21, back down in Canberra at the Hordern Pavilion again, the same place where our last fight show was.
Is that part of the NBS again, the National Boxing Series?
Yes, it will be, yes. Again, we're headlined by Brock Jarvis, who the final details of his opponent is just getting finalised now. Pending all the medical results coming back okay, we may have Justice Hooney on the card as well, which is looking good.
That's a big exclusive.
That's a big exclusive right here. Could have
we
him
were
back.
just wondering when he was going to fight again and if he was going to fight again before the Olympics. Lovelock, the man in the know.
Well, that's where talks are now, pending or positive medical results coming back from the concussion which he had. But it looks like we're scheduling to have him on our shows. Another big fight, which a lot of people may have seen, is we've got Isaac Hardman versus Mark Lucas as well. So another middleweight clash, which is going to be happening on our show. That's going to be for Isaac's Australian title. Lucas Brown versus Arsene Fosso. So there's been massive talk in social media lately about maybe Lucas Brown versus Paul Gallen. So there is a little bit of things still happening in the background with that. But at the moment, Lucas is contracted to fight Arsene Fosso. He's signed a contract to fight. So at this stage, it's all systems go. I think you remember we spoke about that first after the last Tasman show in Brisbane. We dropped it to Dean Lonergan that night, and here we are now. It's going ahead. So
God, Lovelock is showing up, hasn't he? Keep going.
We could have Hassan Hamden looking like he's being back on the card as well.
Exciting prospect.
Huge talent. So it's going to be a mega event. We're going to have looking like we're having 10, 11 fights.
Wow. Wow, what a card. So
Huge
hopefully
card.
all that comes together. We'd love to see Justice back on there again. That'd be great. Very interested to see who Brock Jarvis's opponent's going to be. Pity we can't edge that one out here, but that would be very juicy.
I'll say will be an international, so pending borders and everything where we are at the moment, but it's talking to be signed up with an international opponent. So
ooh, rankings, belts.
Yeah, so it'll be Brock will be defending his belts, which he fought for last time. So it's going to be another fight and another huge record as well for him to take too. So if he wins,
I've got a question though. Like, what is it with fighters trying to get on social media and match their own fights? Like, these guys have got teams. Your team does the work. Your matchmaker, your promoter, that you're taking their job away from them.
like I couldn't agree more. Social media is way bigger than it used to be when I was fighting now. So there is an element of it that I do think it's good that fighters are on there promoting themselves and even calling people out, doing things. But as a fighter, yeah, I agree. Shut up, get in the ring, do what your team says. Otherwise, if you don't trust your team, you're in the wrong team.
I'm seeing so much of it on social media at the moment. I'm like, I don't know if I'm old school, but where's the respect in this sport gone?
When I get off for the fight, I don't get off for the fight. The manager gets off for the fight. He gets the call, and that's why I got on board for in the first place. If the manager tells me that the fight's not right for me and that there's better fights out there for me, I'm going to listen.
Fighters are always going to be calling each other out on social media. That will never, ever stop.
Yeah.
And it does help stir the pot a little bit. We saw that with Liam and Bilal. But when it came down to business, in the end, that was very clearly handled by their managers and promoters. And I think that's exactly what we have to remember that has to happen. Now, Arsene Fosso, we saw him fight Justice Heaney at the Tasman Fighter and DNL events at Fortitude Music Hall end of last year. You and I spoke about this fight happening with Lucas Brown behind the scenes. A good fight.
Someone's going to knock somebody out there, but like Arsene's tough. We've seen Lucas get knocked out in his last couple of fights. So but will he land on Arsene? Time will tell.
I think it's a great fight. It's two big dudes who can punch. Lucas is going to try that try show and prove that he's a good boxer and he can move. Fosso's going to try to take Lucas's head off.
I think what makes it exciting is it's not about who lands the heavy shots, it's about who takes them better.
Yeah,
because there's going to be heavy shots landed.
Very exciting card coming out of Canberra for the Capital Fight Show, April 24th. Lovelock, thanks for coming on the show, mate, clearing up a few things and highlighting what's going to be a very, very exciting event.
No problems at all. It's a pleasure to be here and hope they can come on again as we get a bit closer to the show and give you a little bit more coverage and a few more insights on what's happening. Great to be here.
Expect the unexpected.
I just wanted to do something cool for my 30th. I thought it'd be cool. And then I was
like, 30 rounds.
31 minute rounds, 30 straight, just back to back.
That would have been funny to have you.
He messaged me.
I did message you.
I had a class on that day. I was taking the class that exact day.
He was just scared.
Yeah.
I did 31 minute, 30 straight 1 minute rounds with I was meant to be 30 different people, but I think about 22 rocked up.
Yeah, you threw a few girls. I saw the girls.
One girl.
Because there was a minute, I was like saying to everyone, all right, get ready, like you're next, so it keeps rolling. And because he wasn't ready, he just picked up these like boxer size mitts.
Oh, no.
And he's about 120 kilos. And he just jumped in and he's just going hard. And I was looking at the gloves.
But as soon as he hopped in the ring, I looked down, I was like,
8 ounce.
Okay.
And then not enough time to go, swap.
You see, like even like my My nose is. But like, I broke it before boxing, but.
Well, Brody looked like he had his lips done at the end of his video.
Yeah.
I did have Botox and all
Yeah, bro.
Very big enough, but
He
but
thought
then
it was
I had
over, and I said, bro, you got 11 rounds left.
That was the worst thing. I thought there was like 5 rounds left.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sweet. How many rounds? And so I was like, yeah, 11. I was like, oh yeah, sweet. No, your dad jumped in. His dad was like, oh yeah, bro, I'm just gonna jump in and do like just an easy round for you. He jumps in, fucking big uppercut. I was like, oh my god.
You touched my son. When did you start your one, the Subbuce?
3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
fresh.
We're fresh, like very fresh. You get it because when footy's all you know, like, it's big for Islanders. When footy's all you know, you just do it since you're like young.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, oh, you gotta get here, then you make it, and you're kind of like, man, I've done it all. Kind of.
Yeah.
I reckon you hit a wall, kind of thing, and you're like, do I want to just start creating something of my own?
Yeah.
I can't even picture you as a fighter.
No, I actually haven't fought before. I'll still shit. I got That's a fake nose.
It's a prank.
Wait, you didn't say he was a boxer, eh?
Bro, I sent you the video of what we're doing. You didn't do any research?
I was just like, I thought we were doing karaoke. That's what I thought.
Everyone thinks that. You guys were ever mad when you bring a podcast and be mad, like kicking back, having a chat and that. I could be sick.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's what we're
you'll be first guest now. Yeah, for sure. You busy?
Subbuce. Am I saying it right? Subbuce.
Yeah, jump on our Instagram pages and check out the videos. We've got more to come.
A great show, a lot of juicy things happening domestically and internationally, and we love bringing it to you. I'm Rob Scheif, and you're watching Before the Fight.